representative of the Chancellor, members of the University Council, the Vice Chancellor, Pro-Vice Chancellors, Registrar, Provost, College of Humanities, Chairman and members of the College of Humanities Advisory Board, Deans, Directors, and Heads of Department, members of Convocation, staff and students of the University of Ghana, alumni and friends of the University of Ghana, graduates, invited guests, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Ago. Ago. Now I'm going to say something that may seem a bit uncomfortable. This moment has been rehearsed. Your gowns, the order, the procession, the polite optimism, everything here has been rehearsed. It's planned. But your lives have not been rehearsed. Do you agree? You can't rehearse your lives. You agree? Indeed, when you came in as level 100 students, you matriculated. Did things go the way you planned for each and every one of you? No. So your lives cannot be rehearsed even when you plan. And the truth is that that's the tension in the room, even though it's unspoken. But I like to speak about uncomfortable things. Now you're here to receive your degrees today, right? Good. But I would like you to know that the education that you are being awarded the degree for, you need to ask yourself certain questions. So keep these in mind. If you can even write them down, write them. Okay, it's not a lecture, but you can write. You can put it on your phone too. What did your education undo within you? What did your education undo within you? What has it changed within you? I'm not asking what it added. I'm not asking what it decorated. I'm asking what it has undone and what it has changed within your education. What has your education disrupted? What did it disrupt within you? Your very core of your being. Now I'm asking because if nothing has been disrupted, then it means that nothing has been transformed. And that should worry you because the University of Ghana has given you what we call a transformative education. Can you repeat that? Transformative education. Good. Now what does it mean? I'll explain. If your education is transformative and the experience that you've had here at the University of Ghana has done the work that it should have done, then you should feel slightly unsafe with how things around you, in your community, in your society, in the country, in the world are at the moment. You should feel the itch of questions which do not sleep properly. You should feel the weight of knowing that you can no longer pretend that now that you are educated, you have been exposed, you are enlightened, you see certain things. You see what is wrong. You see what could be better. You see what your society is failing at. You see where young Ghanaians like yourself or young citizens of the world like yourselves are being shortchanged. And then how can you, say me, say how can I be an agent of change? Hey, I'm not saying it. How can I be an agent of change? Good. So from today onwards, ignorance is no longer an excuse that is available to you. And then let me locate myself in what I'm saying. You heard my profile. It's long, there's more, but I'll shorten it for you. I'm a poet and an author. I'm a storyteller. I'm a media practitioner. Currently, my media home is Channel 1 TV and City FM in Accra, where I'm the head of programs. And I also am a presenter. I train presenters, oversee about 67 productions. And I'm a cultural and creative entrepreneur. Now, I am never ashamed to say that I was raised in a comfortable home. So I don't have the hustle story. You know, I didn't have to walk 10 kilometers to school. That's not my story. And I'm not ashamed of that. But comfort does not exempt you from work. Do you understand what I'm saying? Comfort does not exempt you from work. So I grew up with one guiding mindset, that no condition is permanent. You've heard it before, right? No condition is permanent. And because of that, I work as though there's no one in the world but God and me. So I do not work expecting to be rescued. I do not work assuming entitlement. I work knowing that my independence as a woman, as a professional, as a human being must be earned every single day, the way you've earned your degrees every single day of your journey in this university. You understand? You understand? Good. And that mindset comes with a cost. Sleepless nights, missed social events, sacrifices that no one applauds. How many of you had to stay up late to study to get to where you are today? Raise your hand. You had to stay up late. How many of you had to, the party you wanted to go to, you couldn't go because you knew that there was an exam, you had to learn? How many of you? Good. Now, and how many of you, you'd have liked to do something different, but you knew that the cost was too great because the journey needed to lead you to this hall today. Anybody? Raise your hand. Okay. I'm happy to tell you that it continues when you get into the real world. Sacrifices. Now, everybody wants a good life, but nobody or not everybody wants to pay the price for it. And so increasingly, we're living in a culture where people expect sacrifice only from others. But we want people to sacrifice their time, their money, their comfort, and then pay us because we believe that we are worth it. Yet when we're given the opportunity to give our time, our skill, our efforts, we hesitate if there's no immediate financial reward, and that mindset is costing us more as a country, as humanity, than we realize. So we like to talk a lot about success, but we talk very little about consequence. Can you repeat that? Consequence. Good. So let me ask you something that will never appear on the certificates that you receive today. Who is harmed when educated people decide to be neutral? Who benefits when cleverness replaces courage? Who pays the price when we learn how things work and then leave them exactly as they are, even when they are detrimental to the progress and development of our societies? This is where the room usually relaxes, and this is where I'm supposed to inspire you. But I'll take a chance and say that inspiration is cheap. You know how they say talk is cheap? Inspiration is cheap, and I'll tell you what I mean by that. It rises quickly, and it dissipates quickly, it disappears. I'm more interested in the implication of what you understand today means to you. Because from today, your education implicates you. Somewhere along the line, our culture collapsed into valuing only money. Everything has become transactional. What does it pay? What do I get? And so now, opportunities to build, to learn, to contribute to something meaningful are sometimes dismissed. Not because they are exploitative, sometimes they can be, I admit, but it's not always that, because they do not come with immediate financial reward. I've seen beautiful projects struggle from breath. They just can't breathe and come to life. And it's not because they lacked vision and integrity, but because they were deprived of people who cared. Can you say people who care? Thank you. People with skill, people with capacity, people who could have given of themselves but chose not to. And when that happens, it is only the individual who loses. Society loses. A good idea is starved of oxygen. And let me be clear, this is not an attack on comfort. I like a good life. I like to live well. I've worked hard for the things that I enjoy, and I'm not ashamed of that. Money matters, security matters, dignity matters. But money must not become the only currency that we recognize. Can you say currency? Okay, I'm going to talk about currency now. Some of the most powerful currencies that you will ever earn do not come with price tags. Trust, reputation, your network. Have you heard the saying that your network is your net worth? Good, your network. Your skill, your credibility, your purpose. You cannot always raise an invoice for these things, but they do compound, they add up. Many of the most formative rooms that I've ever entered do not pay me, but they taught me. I showed up without an invoice, I offered my services, I listened, I learned by proximity. by being present in rooms with diplomats, business leaders, thinkers, creatives, and not always asking for something, but to learn how they think, how they move, what matters most, how they live, how they love, how they see the world. Because you see, exposure is not the only travel. It's because you'll be paid for it, that you should look to do it, but because it stretches you beyond the limits of a normal 9 to 5 or your normal working hours. And I'm not saying you shall allow anybody to take advantage of you, but I'm saying learn to recognize when beyond money, you are gaining something for your advancement, but also something that you can give back to society. Do you understand? Good. Now, work ethic. It's not simply working for a pay slip, but working with ownership. Ownership of purpose, ownership of equality and quality, and ownership of the outcome. Have you ever heard the phrase, or people say, hey, but you is the job for your father? Or somebody told me that the company is not for my father, so I've closed. Have you heard that before? Good. Don't live with that mindset. Don't do that. Because you see, we can't all be entrepreneurs. But when you have entrepreneurial thinking, whether you run your own company or you work inside someone else's, or you just live in a community, you learn that you can actually make a change even in your small corner. It begins with the way you think. Now, you study the humanities, different versions of it. And that means that you are trained to notice things, to be observant, to be analytical. And you've learned to notice the power in language, the violence in silence, the history in your habits. That training makes you dangerous. Say, my training makes me dangerous. Now, not in a bad way, not in a loud kind of dangerous kind of way, not in a rebellious, I'll show you who I am kind of way. No. You are dangerous because you are clear-eyed. You know I clear? Say I clear. Good. When you're clear-eyed, then you are inconvenient for those who want to bring detriment to your society. Clear-eyed people are usually not the favorites because they see what the little foxes and the destroyers in our communities and societies do not want us to see. And let me say this carefully because it is important. Ghana does not suffer from a lack of intelligence or intelligent people. It suffers from a lack of ethical stubbornness. I'll repeat that. Ghana does not suffer from a lack of intelligence or intelligent people. It suffers from a lack of ethical stubbornness. Repeat it, ethical stubbornness. Good. Now what does that mean? People who know better but still choose the easier route. People who understand systems but excuse them repeatedly. People who are educated but emotionally absent from their surroundings. Do not become that. Do not become that. And some of you will leave Ghana, especially the Ghanaians, I'm speaking to you. Some of you will leave Ghana and some of you will stay. But that's not the dividing line. The dividing line is this. Will you use your education to distance yourself from a problem that you see, or will you stand closer to it? Will you use your education to distance yourself from a problem that you see, or will you use that education and stand closer to the problem? And then let me also say this. A role model may inspire you. Your mentor, how many of you have mentors? Okay. How many of you have role models? You don't have role models and mentors. Or you are looking for them. You are not looking for them. Okay. So note this for when you find them. A role model may inspire you. A mentor may guide you if you do the work, that is. Because mentors, they are busy people. So you have to do your own part of the work. But a sponsor, have you heard of a sponsor before? I'm not talking about that kind of sponsor. No, not that. I'm talking about a sponsor in professional life. So we have role models, we have mentors, we have sponsors. Have you heard of a sponsor before? How many haven't? Okay. Now, your sponsor is the person who speaks up for you, who mentions your name, who says he or she deserves this position, he or she deserves this opportunity when you are not there. So you may never enter that room. It may be a boardroom. It may be, a corridor of power. You may never enter there. But there's somebody there because of the work you do, your integrity, your consistency. Somebody will say, this lady or this gentleman deserves this opportunity. Look for a sponsor. And your sponsors, all the things I've spoken about so far, that's where you find them. The overtime work, not expecting money for everything, sacrificing the sleepless night to go somewhere because I'll meet that one person who can be my destiny helper. Look for a sponsor. Do you understand? So say, I'll look for a sponsor. I will look for a sponsor. Now, more often than not, when opportunity eventually appears, people remember who showed up when they did not have to. And that's what a sponsor remembers when they are calling your name in that room or that space. Now, lastly, this is the part of the speech where I'm supposed to offer you hope. So let me say this to you. Hope is not a feeling. Can you say hope is not a feeling? Hope is a discipline. So repeat that too. Hope is a discipline. It is choosing to build when exploitation is faster. It is choosing partnership when individual escape, convenience, and comfort is tempting. It is choosing to remain human in systems that reward numbness and oblivion. And let me end by breaking a final rule, because my hair is red and I always break rules. I'm not going to congratulate you. I'm going to hand something back to you. So I'm handing you back your education. This beautiful, stellar University of Ghana transformative education. I'm handing it back to you. And I'm not handing your education back to you as an achievement, because it is not an achievement. I'm handing it back to you because it is a burden. So yes, you've achieved a degree, but now it's your burden to carry. Education is a burden. It's not meant to bring you comfort. Comfort is only a byproduct of a good education. You understand? Good. Comfort is only a byproduct of a good education. So this education should weigh you down, and it should push you to push for a better world. Carry it carefully. Carry it in your spirit. Carry it publicly. Carry it in the rooms where decisions are made about people who will never enter this great hall. Because you do realize that some people will never have this opportunity to graduate from the University of Ghana, or any university for that matter. Do you realize that? So you're privileged. Carry that education, that privilege with you. And when you enter a room where you remember that there's somebody who will never sit in the great hall of the University of Ghana or any congregation, I will speak up for them. People who may never have access to the privilege of an education like yours. And if at any point, please listen carefully, if at any point your success requires you to forget about other people, then stop. Stop in your tracks. Because that is not success. At that point, it's amnesia. You're forgetting what has been gifted to you, the blessing you've received, the privilege that you hold. And so, ladies and gentlemen, today, it is not the end of anything. Yes, you're graduating, you're going to get your degrees, but it is a beautiful and memorable moment. And it is just that, a moment. A very important moment, yes, but it's a moment. And this is a moment when you become answerable to your society, to your country, to your civic duty, and to your generation, to your values, and to your integrity. Apiorkor, congratulations. Thank you.